I'm going to show you exactly how virtual assistants help me scale my Amazon FBA business to 7 figures. If you're still doing everything inside of your business, you're leaving serious money on the table. I've hired over 10 virtual assistants over the last 4 years, and I'm going to talk about what tasks to delegate first, how much to pay them, and common mistakes to avoid when you're just starting out with your first virtual assistant. So let me break this down for you. When I was just getting started with my Amazon business, the first 12 months, I was doing everything myself. Product sourcing, account opening, supplier relationships, scanning the catalogs, doing all the prepping and shipping and labeling, every single thing I was doing myself. And honestly, it just felt like another job. I was working 60 plus hours a week inside of my own business. And now with my team of 4 virtual assistants, I work about 10 hours a week on the actual business, and I save myself a lot of time. I still think it felt better than working for somebody else. It felt amazing working for myself, but that's not the goal of the business. I want to free up my time. So I was doing about 80K in sales during that time when I was doing everything myself. And then I hired a professional team of 4 virtual assistants, and all 4 of them, I delegated so many tasks to them, which I'll get into in just a couple minutes. But my team of 4 VAs saves me all the time in the world. Now I do about 150K to 200K in sales per month, and I work about 10 to 15 hours per week on the actual business. Now, if you are hiring a virtual assistant, you'd want to be very careful where you're hiring them from. Here's the 4 tasks you should delegate when you first hire a virtual assistant. Number 1 is going to be product sourcing. So you're going to give them your product criteria, whether that's 30% margins, $5 profit, 100K BSR and less. So you would give them your criteria, and they're going to actually do the product sourcing for you and send you a couple products that they think are profitable. Now, you want to make sure your virtual assistant actually knows what they're doing. You'll have to train them, or you can find one that's already fully trained. For students inside of my inner circle, we give them a fully trained virtual assistant that already has suppliers, already has products, already is familiar with account opening and creating purchase orders. So if that sort of thing interests you, there's going to be a link in the description. Hit the link there, book a call, and then we'll get right into it and see if it's a fit for you. The next task you're going to want to delegate for a virtual assistant is going to be inventory management. So your virtual assistant should have access to a spreadsheet where they can track all of the inventory levels, and they can ping you when a stock is due. Now, you could get a software to do this for you, but it does take a little bit of time having to go in the software and check your stock levels, when a virtual assistant can do that for you and just kind of send you a Slack message and say, hey, Cynthia, it's time to reorder this ASIN. You're down by 50 units. You're going to be out of stock in like the next 3-4 days. So I think that is super helpful as well. Now, the third task you're going to want to delegate is Amazon customer service. If you're doing FBM, you know that some customers might message you and ask for a return or a refund or whatever the case may be. You want to have a virtual assistant consistently replying to the customers and making sure that you're not getting any negative feedback. So simply just create some templates inside of Seller Central and have your VA just send them to them. It's going to take a bunch of time off your plate, and it's super convenient to have a virtual assistant do this for you. Now, the fourth task you can have a virtual assistant do is data entry and tracking your spending as well. So when you purchase something, you can have them log it on a spend sheet where you can see all of your purchases and see if you can actually hit your spend goal. Remember, the more you spend, the more you make. So it's convenient to have a virtual assistant log all of your purchases, log the product, the ASIN, how many units you purchased for that week, and keep tabs on all of your inventory as well. Now let's get into where you can find a good virtual assistant. Most people go to Fiverr or Upwork or onlinejobs.ph. Now those are good places to start. Online Jobs is more for Filipino virtual assistants. They're very talented. They speak fluent English. They're amazing at arbitrage from what I've noticed. Some of them can be good at wholesale as well. It just depends what kind of virtual assistant you want. If you want them to do admin tasks, you want to do wholesale tasks, you want them to do online arbitrage, it really just depends where you're going to look for one as well. Once you decide where you're going to hire your virtual assistant, you're going to want to create a sheet where you have a couple of questions to test them on. So this is a job posting that I created. You're going to post this inside of Fiverr or inside of Online Jobs, depending on what kind of virtual assistant you're looking for. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure they have at least a year of experience as a virtual assistant. They have to be familiar with Seller Central, with SellerAmp, with Keepa, price history movement. They got to know sales rank. They got to know all the basics for sure. And then you also want to be specific on what you want them to do for you. Do you want them to do online arbitrage? Do you want them to do wholesale, open wholesale accounts, scan product catalogs? This is pretty ideal for a wholesale VA. You can customize this to whatever you need that virtual assistant to do for you. You always want to make sure they have stable internet connection and they have a good internet speed as well. And you want to put the benefits as weekly or bi-weekly payments. I usually pay mine every 2 weeks, flexible schedule. And then here you're going to ask them a couple questions to kind of give them a little bit of a litmus test. And also you want to create a couple interview questions just like this and have them tell you a little bit about themselves, where they're currently working, what other responsibilities they have, how much time they can dedicate to the position, what kind of experience they have, people they've worked with, how many hours they're able to dedicate to the job. Maybe you can even ask like what kind of products have they found in the past that they thought were good. Again, how fast their internet is and what they think about this graph. This looks like it was decent up until here. The competition started increasing and the price started decreasing. So this is an example of a bad graph recently. So if they tell you that this is a good graph, then you know that they are not the ideal candidate. So another thing you can do with your virtual assistants is you can share a sheet like this. If you're looking for an online arbitrage virtual assistant, is you would give them a sheet like this where it has the Amazon link, the source link, the category, all of this relevant data, and all what they would do is just come in here, fill out this data, and then you would just come in on your day-to-day shift, and then you would look at the products, look at the link, calculate profits, and see if this is a good buy for online arbitrage. If you're doing a little bit of wholesale and you want them to open wholesale accounts for you, you would use this sheet like this. You would have them write the supplier, the website, the email, phone number, whether it was approved, it's pending or denied, and then once they're approved, you can move it to approved accounts and see what accounts they have been opened for that day. So you always want to monitor how much work they're doing, what kind of work they're doing, and see if they're making any progress towards finding some good suppliers or products for your business. Now let's talk about some common mistakes with the virtual assistant. Number one is not setting clear expectations, having them send you like a 3 to 5 leads every day by a certain time, or if you're having them do admin tasks, they need to complete all of their work by a certain time. So you need to set that clear expectation with them when you're expecting to see said leads or certain tasks completed by. That's gonna really be important there. Another common mistake is hiring too cheap. So if a virtual assistant costs about $50 a week, maybe $30 a week, you know you're not gonna see that much progress or that much effort coming from their part. I pay my virtual assistant about $80 to $120 per week, and they do amazing work for me. And I've been working with them for about 4 years since I first started. So once you build a relationship with them, you can tell them, hey, like, can you do this much for this week, and kind of like build your way through with them after they prove themselves that they're competent. But you sort of get what you pay for with a virtual assistant. If you cheap out, you know they're not going to give you quality work. You also got to watch out if you're doing online arbitrage with virtual assistants. You got to make sure that they are not working for somebody else and sharing leads too. I've seen this happen quite some time. I had a virtual assistant actually share all of my leads with another client. All of my products would typically tank. So you want to watch out for that. You also want to start off with like 1 or 2 virtual assistants just in case one of them is not the ideal fit. You can have the other one pick up the slack, or you don't want to, be the head of operations and have to do everything yourself. You're just going to stress yourself out. I would start with 2. Obviously, you want to know what you're doing before you hire a virtual assistant. You want to know yourself how to read graphs, how to calculate profits, how to do everything. Once again, for our students, we give them a trained virtual assistant so they don't necessarily have to know what to do. Virtual assistant kind of has their back and they're coming with good faith. Shitty virtual assistant can definitely break your business. So always proceed with caution when you're hiring a virtual assistant. So that's exactly how I've been able to scale my business to 7 figures while only working 10 to 15 hours a week, is just by having my virtual assistant team do all the day-to-day tasks, having my prep center do all the shipping and the logistics, and then Amazon doing the fulfillment. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions, and if you guys want to come to my next free workshop, there's going to be a link in the description. Sign up, save your seat, and I'll see you guys in the next one.